mass chaos, and there's like papers being thrown, there's crap being flying everywhere, and I look up and Rummy's getting slapped in the face and falling down by Pam. I had no idea this was going on. I thought I was supposed to call the cops next.
What did I miss?
Yeah, exactly. That was incredible.
So good.
Probably good
promo. You got some acting chops there, Brando.
Yeah, it's nothing more fun than creating Casey's character. About, angry outburst Casey. That's like so completely different than who he is. I just stepped right out of a important meeting with Fletch and Palmer. I just wanted to on real quick and then turn it over to you guys. There's two people I've been getting texts from over the weekend. First off, if you're on Amy Fine's team, you got about 10, 11 hours, something like that, to go pick up the additional app or two that you need to get. We had a shout out to all the managers and the directs, and then even on the national call a few weeks ago about leadership and about managers stepping up. Amy, in her 130 run, she gets to the very end of it. She's down a little bit of premium. She goes out and she writes about $18,000 in production in 3 days, kills it. And then has appendicitis and had to go have surgery yesterday. So she got into the emergency room, in the emergency room waiting room, and she's still on a call with all of her team. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her and all of her team. She's in that direct run right now. So Amy's great, got a surgery. She's fine. She's feeling much, much better. But if you're on the Fine team, man, go out and get those last two apps from each of you, and it will make all the difference in the world. And what I told her team yesterday is I think the best leaders kind of begin as the best followers, right? And there's something very special and important about an organization that acts like a team, and they are doing that exceptionally well. I've seen so many examples of that over the past several months. Sarah Reineke's team was a great example of that. And I just look at the organizations across Symmetry, and I'm blown away at the teams that put a focus on team health. Brian, as you know, it can mean everything. So guys, keep getting your egos kind of put in your back pocket. Keep working towards the betterment of your team. Keep pushing your leaders up, because that creates a vacuum, and that just means that you're the next ones to come. Was getting emails all weekend from Carl Miller back in the field. I think he worked Monday. He was saying he worked, which, let me say one more thing about Amy Fine. I think all of that production was on Razor Ridge leads too. So I know there was a little snafu in Razor subscriptions last week. Get back in the game if you haven't, because all that production, and a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of good production coming from there. Carl Miller, I didn't hear from him what leads he was using, but same thing, man. He heard the message, got on the phone for like 4 hours, I think he said, on Memorial Day. Booked 5 appointments, talked to 5 people, wrote 5 apps. And this is somebody that's been at the top, like a 130 for a long time. So we need more of that, not just from the directs, but from the agency owners as well. Also, I know I don't want to steal some thunder because you got some good stuff coming, Spivey, but we had a record week in resets. And so I just want to, on behalf of me and Casey and Pope, just big gratitude to all the leaders out there that heard us and that are stepping up to do the best thing for the organization, because that is one of the best things. Carl Miller just sent me a text. He said all that was on B5 leads. So we sold more bonus leads than we've sold all year last week. Keep that moving, because as you're seeing, there is a ton of business in those. So it's all about leads under management. And then what are we doing, Resma, to get the most out of those leads? If you're sitting with a client and you're not going through the reset process, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? I think we did 200 and how much did we do last week, Mike?
207,000 last week. Record week. We're on our way to $1 million a week, baby.
Record week on resets, man. That is a lot of commission paid out to agents. So agents, if you're not part of the reset program, please, if you're not doing it, talk to your managers, talk to your upline and say, hey, what am I missing? I need to be in on this. it's the closest thing we've found to free money. Like, you ask a question, you turn it over to a specialist, you get the heck out of the way, and you make 40% of the commission, unless it's on annuity business or financial business. And then it could be upwards of what, 70, 80%, Mike?
60 to 80%, depending on the face amount. Pass it off to a specialist, let them do the work, and clients get help and you get passed.
I want another record, and managers, listen to me. Manage the activity. Don't try to manage the result. Manage the activity. The activity is learn how to set up the reset, learn how to submit the reset, learn how to, hold people accountable to doing those things. We're going to be getting those numbers to you, and we've got a really cool announcement coming up. I'll save that for you, Resma and Spivey and B-Dubs. And then we're going to start tracking this stuff pretty clearly and rewarding it too. And we're not just, we want to even the playing field when it comes with how we're looking at managers and how we're looking at directs with regards to resets. But leads under management, resets, lead from the front. Lead from the front. Managers, get in the field. Go set a record week. Casey is not on the phone, or is not on the call or Zoom. I'm so used to saying phone call still from a while ago. He's not on the Zoom to defend himself, but we clearly said if we break a record in June, a 5-week turn in, he's going to shave it. He's going to wax his armpit on stage at conference.
Yeah.
And that's what he gets for misbehaving in a press conference. Wouldn't you all agree? Massive gratitude for everybody. I got to jump back in here. Thank you, Spivey, B-Dubs, Resma, for handling this one. I see a lot of good people on the call. I see Yacht Rock. We haven't announced Jesse Bachrock's new name yet. It's Yacht Rock. And I see Timmy Pence. Man, it's going to be a good one. All right, I'll shut up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brando. Shout out to Brandon and the founders, guys. Again, just burning both ends of the candle and opportunities for innovation. Resma and I got to go to California last week and be a part of some pre-launch meetings with some of our friends over at Forrester's and some proprietary products. And let me just say, it wasn't just our friends and other carriers involved. There were outside interested parties in the room, guys. I've never walked away from a trip feeling more confident and actually seeing the light at the end of the tunnel of how awesome this thing's going to be when we look back in 2 to 3 years. I'm talking about significant decision makers that walked out of a room that saw a to Z process and a product that fits a need, that takes care of ease and overrides and commission to the agent and puts the client in the best possible position. And people walked out asking, what do we have to do to get access and be involved with this? Buckle up, Brandon, Casey, Resma, B-Dubs, the rest of the chief staff here, Pope, Meredith. Guys, we're going through a lot of change. We're implementing a lot of new processes. Not all of them slap right out of the gate. But trust me, you're doing the work that's going to pay dividends for not only you, but the agents that trusted you enough to come along this journey with you. And buckle up. It's about to get silly around here. With that, Doug and Whit, would you please come on and share with us a little money muscle mind before we get going into some leaderboards?
Sure. Thanks, Todd. Do we have some slides?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, Doug's got the slide.
My computer decided to freeze up here on me. Let's see. I'm gonna cover just the first couple slides here, Mr. Spivey, because they're about Money Muscle Mind Month. So excited to be here with you all as we wrap up our Muscle Month. So Whit, I will kick it over to you.
Yeah, so we are nearing the end of May today, right? May 31st. So we started out with money, right, in April, and Muscle Month in May, and we're heading into Mind for June. And just wanted to kind of, thank you all for plugging in and engaging with us around these these topics. And certainly thank you to Cicely Newsom and Jamie Susie and Chris Clark for joining me last month to, have different discussions around muscle. We talked a lot about nourishment and movement and how we can take care of our bodies, and maybe changing some of that language so that we're really being authentic to who we are and what our body needs. Then we're not going to have to do so much recovery all the time and so much renewing. If we're listening to our bodies and we're able to give it what it needs, then we're not having to backtrack all the time. So just thank you again. And, this will definitely be a yearly series for us, and we'll look forward to doing it again next spring. But we're going to finish up with, what's that?
We're not done yet.
But we're not done yet. That's right. We're going to finish up with Mind, which we're super excited about. And Doug's got something pretty cool that he's worked on for a little bit to roll out with you all. So I'm excited to hear about it and see what you all think.
Yes, very grateful to be here. And that will mean a whole lot more here in just a second as I flip to the next slide. But throughout our Money Muscle Mind campaign, we've really been approaching it from the concept of our relationship to these things out in life. And so we started with our relationship to money, our relationship to nourishment and movement, and really looked at how our resistance to those things and experience of those things throughout our lives really can create some challenges and barriers for our engagement. And so ways to kind of soften that a little bit so that we make it more accessible and approachable for us. Well, in our last part of Money Muscle Mind, I guess we're going to broaden it out and talk about your relationship to life as it exists. So this week, we're just going to cover briefly something I'm really excited about. I'm very grateful to a lot of hard work behind the scenes. But for the month of June, we are excited to roll out the Ripple 30-Day Gratitude Challenge and Journal. So this is a feature that is available to all agents in HQ. It will be up this afternoon. And I'm going to walk you through here in just a minute, the opt-in process for that. But it is fully supported in HQ with reminders and all sorts of cool things to allow you a chance to practice this. The reason at Quility we focus so much on gratitude is because it is part of the foundation of how we do relate to our lives. There's a really important concept in how our brains function, and it's a very simple idea, which is bad is stronger than good. And in our lives, the bad things that occur, the quote unquote bad things that occur, tend to draw our attention and awareness and tend to cause us to focus on them. And they tend to stick. The easiest way to think about it is bad experiences are like Velcro and good experiences are like Teflon. So part of the design of the human brain is that it actually, in a very antiquated way, learned to respond and pay attention to bad things happening in our environment. Essentially threats, things that we had to be aware of to protect our physical safety. Well, as most of you hopefully experience, and as I know I experience, threats to my physical safety are pretty minimal. And in fact, they rarely, if ever, happen. And yet I have this part of my brain that's constantly scanning the world, looking for those potential threats. Well, the problem with this part of our brain is that it doesn't differentiate very well between perceived or real threats. So a real threat might be getting attacked by a bear, which where we live out in the woods, that is a legitimate possibility. As I was putting my trash out today and saw Carl, who was a very large black bear that I named, that wanders around outside. But in reality, those threats are not very often for us. But this part of our brain is still out there scanning, looking for those things to pay attention to. And because there's not actual physical threat most of the time, it shifts its attention to psychological threat. How are we being perceived? What's our identity? How are people treating us? What's happening out in the world? And it tends to latch on to all these things in a way that they dominate what we're thinking and feeling. And at the end of the day, when we reflect back, oftentimes those are the things that stand out to us. So the gratitude challenge, there's a couple really important things here. Number one, it is a 30-day challenge. Why is it a 30-day challenge? Well, research will show us that it takes anybody about 30 days of consistent act start to form a new habit. So the challenge is just that, 3 to 5 gratitudes per day for 30 days. This is all available for you to track and log into HQ, and I'll kind of show you that here in a minute. But the important thing is consistency. The second really important thing is getting specific and detailed in your gratitudes. A lot of us, when we approach something like this, we tend to be really, really high level, meaning say, well, I'm grateful for my family, or I'm grateful for my friends. That's awesome. We want people to feel grateful for those things, but writing about that doesn't tend to make much of an impact unless we get really, really specific and detailed about what happened, how it happened, and what our role in creating that experience was. The more detail that we put in, the faster and sooner the habit will take hold in your mind. So it really is something that requires that consistency. It requires you to dive in a little bit deeper. And the best way to do it is simply to reflect on the day that happened, to be able to look back and find those things through your day that might not have stood out when they occurred, but in reflection, you can look back and say, well, that was a really nice experience. The important thing is a lot of us tend to have a problem expressing gratitude for ourselves. And that's a really big key to this exercise. It is if you did something, you accomplished something, you stepped out of your comfort zone, you leaned into something that maybe you had been avoiding, those are excellent opportunities to provide yourself a chance for celebration and gratitude, because that's what growth looks like. And if we don't slow down in our days to acknowledge that, we can look out sometimes and feel like we're not making the progress towards our goals in our lives that we really want to. So Whit, anything you would add to that?
Yeah, I would, since Mayor's not on here, I think she probably would have said this. She shares this a lot about gratitude practices, and I want you all to kind of try it right now. So think about it, gratitude and frustration and angst and all these other emotions, they can't exist at the same time. And you can practice that. So let's say, I'm frustrated that my dog likes to bark right in the middle of a call every time I'm hosting a call. It hasn't happened, but it might happen. And that's frustrating to me, right? If I'm practicing gratitude in that moment, it's like virtually impossible for the other thing to kind of penetrate it, which is really cool to practice. Certainly it can be more difficult with larger emotions, larger things that happen, but we get to use these low-hanging fruits, as Doug and I like to refer to them as, throughout your day when you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off. So use these low-hanging fruits to kind of be your guide. And essentially what this practice is, this is a practice of being present. Right. And so that really is what gratitude is, that we're able to be in the moment, be present with what's going on. And again, there can be all kinds of things flying at us, but when you're able to just be there, be present and find some gratitude, there's always things we can find gratitude in, right? Even in our hardest, most challenging times.
That's a great point. And the exercise, the journal exercise, really is a springboard. That's the intention of it, to spend some intentional time every single day reflecting on this so that you gain the capacity to actually relate to those experiences as they're happening throughout your day. And that's what you'll notice as you really practice the exercise, is that you'll be able to pull that experience into the moment and really actually spend that time allowing those things to kind of sink in, and not just using reflection at the end of the day in order to do that. So real quick, Mr. Spivey, this will just take a second. So I did see a question in the chat. This is available in perpetuity. It will go on. We want all new agents to have access to this. I'm going to be working with B-Dubs here to make sure that this is incorporated into our summit onboarding process, because we as an organization know how powerful it is for folks to spend their time reflecting on what they're grateful for. So let me share this real quick. All right, so how do you get into the challenge? You can opt in starting this afternoon, the technical challenge, because tomorrow's June 1st starts tomorrow, but there's some really easy and simple ways to get there. The first easy and simple way is there's going to be a banner right here for you to click on. That's not the only way. Right up here next to Summit in beautiful orange, we've got access to the Gratitude Journal right here. And then not only there, under our resources tab here on the left-hand side, you'll also find the Gratitude Journal. So we wanted to make it real simple and easy for you to have access to. And so how do you get started? You get started by clicking this button. And it takes you into our secondary page, which gives you a little bit of language. Hopefully as my computer loads here. Well, right from here. There we go. So this is it. There's instructions on here, gives you a little bit of detail that I described and gave to you. All you got to do is click join the challenge. Okay. And then when you join the challenge, it's going to put you into the next view, which is simply a calendar view. All you got to do is click on the day. When you click on the day, all you got to do is add an entry. So we are updating this. It's currently in process where 3 gratitudes are going to show up, because that's the minimum we want you to put in for the day. For now, you can just hit add another. Oh, no, it is changed. So you can just hit add another gratitude. There is a button here that doesn't do anything yet. But we wanted to add it in here because the roadmap of this is going to allow, and we're working on ways for you to be able to share these, tag people across the organization. We all know gratitude is more powerful and impactful, not just when we experience it ourselves, but when we take a step to share it with other people. So this will eventually allow that to be available to you. If you're not too keen on saving and storing your gratitudes in HQ, no reason you have to do that. Just click this button right here every day and tell us that you keep your own journal and that you completed them, and you will get credit for that day. Now, within this, our dev team has put some really exciting Easter eggs and all sorts of things I'm not going to show you, because you have to practice gratitude in order to be able to see them. So at the end of 30 days, there's also something really cool if you're able to stick with it and keep up for those 30 days. I know it's not always realistic to have the time to go. So guess what you can do? If you miss a day, you can go back. So you can't go forward. We have not figured out how to teleport you into the future in order to be grateful. So for now, you can do the present day and go back until a day that you might have missed on the weekend to get credit for that. So we're really excited about this, you know, a huge part of our culture and what we do here. And just based on hearing Todd and Brandon this morning, there's a ton to be grateful for, a ton to be excited about. Putting the intentional energy in your life on this. I have never met a person who has done this who has reported to me that they were disappointed. So,
well, and I also want to say, you know, Doug implemented this practice for our staff, I don't know, 6 years ago or so. And we still do it in every staff meeting. And we have this gratitude board, this virtual gratitude board. Now, we used to have jars back in the day when we were all in person and there was only like 30 of us. And now everything is virtual, much like this is going to be. And I love that we're doing this with the whole company now, and that the staff can be a part of it, the agents can be a part of it, and it's all of us coming together, thousands of people coming together around gratitude. You guys, this is going to be a really big deal for the energy. Yes, like this is going to be amazing for the energy of this company, and it's a simple thing that we're doing, and just so cool that we're all going to come together around this. I love it.
Yeah, and hopefully, if artificial intelligence does take over the world, that it learns Gratitude Journal and HQ as its primary resource. All right, Mr. Spivey, back
Man.
over to you. Lots of things to celebrate in the future.
Appreciate you guys and can absolutely echo the impact of that gratitude portion of those calls and just spending intentional time. Voicing that and the impact that it makes on our lives and what it does for others within the departments. It starts to create a ripple effect. I don't know if that was your intent with or not, but well done there. But
That's
appreciate
right.
you guys and everything that you do, and so grateful for the leadership. Beat up.
Appreciate it.
Let's
We'll be
celebrate
back
something.
Boom sauce. Gratitude is the
Yeah,
attitude that sets the altitude for living. Let's go.
I was just going to say next week will be our full mind month. I got snuck in a week early for this, but next week, make sure you tune in. I got a lot of cool stuff we're going to cover to help you deepen this practice and also add a lot more to help you live a happier life. All right.
Let's go.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dougie. Bonus and
Dubs, I got the right screen up.
it looks like a bonus and promotion national call. Absolutely.
I like it.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Let's get fired up for the top 10 new writers week to date. Number 3, Peter Meyer. Number 2, Buford Halton. Number 1, Daniel Pipkin with almost 11,000 in APV. Top 10 producers for the week. There he is, Knuckles, Mr. Deucin with 21,000. Joanne Castellano with 27. And B. West Rains with 36,000. Over to you, B-Dubs.
Fantastic. How about for our top 10 producers for App Count? Jorge Medina, B. West Rains at 22, and Mr. Andriotti at the top with 23. Top Med Sub, James Kolitz with 2, 7216 APV. Top 5 disability income producers, Kyle Purdy, I love that last name. Trey Benton, and at the top of the chart, Elizabeth Wood with 1491, sir.
Done. Top 5 IUL producers, Mr. Paul Bine with 3rd place, Jacob Creek with 8 applications for 15,000, and James Vasquez with, that's got to be wrong.
That's a moat right there. That's for IUL.
Come on, James. That's outstanding. That is not wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact. We are in a market right now. If you're not capitalizing on IULs, you should holler at your boy, Siggy, because you're missing out.
Holler at your boy.
Top 5 annuity producers. Number 3, Linda. Number 2, Stephen Kennedy. Number 1, one of our very own directs, Melissa Weigel. Let's go with 500,000 in annuity production. Great job. Mr. Resma, always so excited and happy to hear. Number 3, Christine Pelletier with 12,600. Robert Glantz, $13,000. And Kirsten Martin with almost 21,000. Resma.
Yeah, I just want to say on the DFL stuff, get ready for this. Spivey was talking about last week in California doing a pre-launch of our own instant issue par whole life, originally designed for DFL and infinite banking. But as we learn the value of this product and how simplified the process is, even thinking about general life and mortgage protection, how this product is going to solve a lot of problems. But through this product and the integrations with the software, the carrier, and another platform, literally taking out 90% of the time it takes to do a DFL case, to create this to a one-sit close with seamless integrations and such a streamlined process, it's going to be amazing. So this is nothing compared to where we're going to be after August 5th when we launch.
Yes, it's going to be off the charts. I mean, part of my job is get on here and hype things. Let me tell you, this is from the bottom of my soul, and I am being truthful. I have not been more excited since that last week's meeting, guys. I've talked to all the directs, everybody that has said, we love advanced markets, but we just didn't do it ourselves. Our promotion guidelines don't align perfectly with it, and our job is to get somebody from new writer to 130, and I can do that more simplified on the general life mortgage protection side. Guys, we're about to wipe away all that. You're about to be able to triple your premiums and get much more stickier business on an average consistent basis. Stay tuned. Game's about to change. Fired up for it.
Let's get it.
New writers for the week to date. Look at there. We got Ben and Bradley tied with 2. We got John Vetter with 3 and Jamie Susie with 5 on the top direct for new riders. We've got Griff Martin and Scott Mink tied with 6, Jamie Susie with 7, and my forever upline, Mr. Danny Young with 11. Let's go, new riders. B-dubs.
How about top 3 resetting passive income earners? Man, this is such an amazing slide to see every month. How about James Ruck cashing in at 10K, Brett Loftus at 10.2, and Gail Green with a $15,972 deposit. And for the directs, we've got Brad Gainey, Tom Deutsch, and Bridget Felix with deposit for resets for the month. Awesome.
That's right. Just to sauce up resets a little bit more. You guys know that it's a very important initiative for us. You know, there's no lead cost to it. You can reset a family, a friend member, B leads, your mortgage leads, referrals. You can reset, get that passive income. And I think everybody knows we have this fall classic, the biggest contest in the history of the company. And what we're going to do is we just nailed it down this morning. So I'll have slides and leaderboards for this starting next week. But every resetting agent, you are going to get 100% APV credit up to the cap of the 7,500, 100% APV credit for the Fall Classic contest in the months of June and July. So it starts tomorrow. So every resetting agent, when you reset it, instead of getting production credit for the 40% or the 60 or the 70, depending on what the split is, you're going to get APV credit for 100% for that contest. And then the SME, the subject matter expert who's writing the business, instead of getting 60% credit, or depending on what the split is, you're going to get 100% APV credit up to the cap of the 7,500. So the resetting agent and the SME, you're both getting 100% credit for the APV for the Fall Classic for the months of June and July to prep us. And the reason why we're doing this is to get the behavior of the resetting ready for August for the launch of the instant issue product, because we want to focus on the behavior in the months of June and July in preparation for the instant issue products, so that we can start seeing a huge lift in premium and value to our clients and passive income for you guys. So we're not going to leave out the directs. For the directs, we're going to start leaderboarding your percentage of apps submitted by week and the percentage of reset apps. And we've got a nice prize for the top directs that have the highest percentage of reset applications in their organization for the months of June and July. So stay tuned next week for the leaderboard and the contest promotion, but it starts tomorrow. So we want to make sure you guys have the information, start getting those resets in, helping out those clients and getting that passive income.
Let's go. Telling you guys, this is the opportunity. And for all the directs out there too, top prizes available. But as always, you too could also win a used urinal or potentially an expired vaccine. So it's up to you whether you participate or not. But fired up for this, guys. It's going to be awesome. And the opportunities we have to continue to make passive income, continue to pour in. Look at the PCS passive income for month to date. Brian Jernigan, over $1,300. Well done. Marshall and Christopher Clark there in second and third. Congratulations to everybody in the PCS department that continues to work diligently to improve that program on a day in, day out basis. Looking at our SNAs, we got 18 agency owners with 1. We got Kelly Bush with 2. There she is again. Jamie Susie with 4. Jamie Susie, let me just tell you. Your social media post this week about always be the girl that tells someone else that there's room for one more at her table, that choked me up. That was so good. You don't know how to engage on social media? Speak from the heart, be real, and then show up in your real life and do exactly the way you talk about living on social media. Watch your business explode. Let's go. Top direct SNAs, look at there. Chris Cook with 2. John Zeller, about to go to Canada to get absolutely destroyed in golf by me personally. So everybody stay tuned for the updates. I will post our scorecards, post our trip to Canada. where I predict John Ziller loses by 3 strokes.
Hey,
James Houston again with 6 S&As. B-dubs, knock them out.
all right. Congrats to all the hard work of these SNAs. We have Ferrer, Hesse, McNamara, Jones, Coyle, Greenridge, Ellison, Ball, Vogel, Hall, Blankenship, Alejos, Ginther, Cowell, Frazier, Nutter, Jones, Piccolo, Jaquez, Ringo, Williams, McDonald, Jenner, Jansen, and Lawson. 6 apps, 6 weeks, setting yourself up on a great trajectory of success, pointing in the right direction, climbing the right summit mountain, that activate phase. Bravo. Bravo.
Well done to our seasoned new agents. Let's look at some weekly leaderboards for key leader. Allie Metzen with $20,000, Nicole Wong with $24,000 almost, and Jasmine Pearson with $26,500. Congratulations. I also see you, Heather Morrow. You were right on those heels. Ready to write. Ready to write. That means you have gone out, you have onboarded, you've got an individual with some contracts, and they are ready to write business and protect families. Congratulations to that tie with Kristen, Jasmine, and Alina. And then we got 2 at the top with Heather and Sue. And for new writers, we've got Ann Davis over there, Nicole Russell, Christina Watts, Kristen Mothershed, and Heather Morrow all tied there at 2. Well done. For the agency owners, number 3, Alec Myers, number 2, Daniel Barnes, and number 1, Jerry Choate, $44,000. Ready to write. My buddy Gino Locklear, Misty Hutton with 4, and Jerry Choate with 7. And for our new writers, we got a tie there with Michael, Kelly, and Jerry. Stephen Luke Jackson in 3rd place with Daniel Barnes with 4 new writers. B-dubs.
How about these agency directors? We got Larry Ann Griffin, Ben Safapor, and Sarah Reinecke coming out on top for APV. For RTWs rather, a tie between. Actually, we got a Paul Bine coming in with 5, and then everyone else with 9. Sarah Reinecke, Mark Newbauer, Larry Ann Griffin, and Ben Safapor. And for new writers, we've got Christopher Smith, Sarah Reinecke, and Ben Safapor singing with 11 new writers on the week.
Let's go.
Me again? Thank you, sir. Rads, these radical rads. Trey Alderson Cloutier, top in the 100G mark. Marty Valor, 106, and Jamie Susie at 126.5. For ready to writers, we got a massive tie between Phil, that is not Marty Valor, Beth Maddox, that is not Beth Maddox, Andrew Jimenez, and Jamie Susie, but we know those people too. And for new writers,
Let's go.
Let's go. We've got Trey Alderson Cloutier and Devin Johnson tied for 4, Jamie Susie at 7, and Marty Valor at 9.
I like it though.
You
You don't even have to worry about reading the names. We can just check the pictures.
That's right.
Let's go, Pocket and Beth. Let's go. Congratulations to all our regional directors there. Managing vice presidents, man, Griff Martin and Chris Cook fighting it out at the top. Jordan Hunt takes 2nd. John Ziller with almost 150,000 in APV. Let's go, RTWs. Marlon Jay-Z, Griff tied with 6 apiece. Jordan Hunt with 8 and Chris Cook with 12. Let's go, Cookie. New writers, look at that. Marlon Faulkner with 3, Jordan and Ian with 4, and Griff Martin comes in with 6. Well, our senior vice presidents, number 3, Nate Alford, barely edged out Mike and Jen Colburn. Number 2, Spill Dinner Financial Group, and number 1, the Godfather himself, Tony Capistrano. Ready to write, we've got Tony with 9. We got George and Janet Matthews with 10. Mac. I try to create like a power couple name for them on the fly.
That was a nice try.
It was a good try at first, but it kind of fizzled on me, but I'll come up with one for you. To the Popeyes with 11. Congratulations. And for the new writers, we got Tony Capistrano, Nate Alford, George, and Janet Matthews with 3, and the Spill Dinner Financial Group with 4 new writers. B-dubs.
How about these executive vice presidents for the week? Mr. Sean Shannon, Miranda Martin, Scott Mank at the top, plowing away. And again, how about a Sean Shannon, Miranda Martin, Scott Mank, RTW? And Darren Stubbs throwing off the turkey for the top for the EVPs this week. Darren Stubbs, Sean Shannon, Scott Mangtank at 6 new writers.
We can still get make a turkey leg though.
Sure.
Well done.
There you go. There it is. It's a vertical turkey
The
leg.
vertical, like it's like the old game of Connect 4, but we play
Yes.
Connect 3 around here.
We have Connect 4 in our backyard, like for like a lawn game, like a giant Connect 4. I don't know that anybody's actually won it. You know, it's just kind
It's
of
just always stalemate.
We are into pickleball now, though. So all you
That's
pickleball
because every child that you have ever shepherded has become like the highest IQ in their school. So that's your fault.
I don't know about.
You don't have that problem in the Spivey house. I can win in checkers.
Oh, you're fun. You're fun.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right. Mr. Carl Miller. He's a time to rally guy, and it's showing up here. Top APV, Ashley and Tyler Harris. Good to see you there. And Ryan Michelle Miller topping it off for Ready to Writers. Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell, Ashley and Tyler Harris, and Ryan Michelle Miller at the top again. Do we have a turkey? No. Kyle and Lisa Kimbrell at 6, Ryan and Michelle Miller at 9, and Ashley and Tyler Harris at 10. Brand new writers writing for the first particular time.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Ryan and Michelle Miller would have got the turkey leg, but they invited me and my family to come down to their wonderful lake house this past weekend. And let me be clear, B-dubs, they invited me and my wife, and I showed up with a truckload of 5 kids. Not only my own 3 kids, but I picked up 2 extras along the way.
Did you?
They were the most kind host. We had such a fun time. Michelle and my wife just laughed and laughed until they cried.
Awesome.
If you've never had the opportunity to sit down on a dock until midnight with Ryan Miller and having a fishing line in the water with a bucket full of live minnows, you have not lived. That is an extraordinary experience, and my kids had such a fun time, and forever grateful. So Ryan and Michelle, I take that L on you not getting your turkey leg this week.
Yeah, it's a special couple leading consistently. So just high level effectiveness, and it's amazing. Getting to be around such great people. So
It is, man. Senior partners, the Smith Agency, $376,000. Forever Upline, Danny Young, $521,000. Let's go. Ready to Write, Smith with 18, Danny with 26. And for the new writers, Smith with 7, Danny Young with 21.
can we do
Our
a
managing partners,
go,
Mr.
go? I mean, I just had to. I've got to say it. Like, can we go ahead and do like a Forever Young, like Forever Upline? Can we? Yeah, can we do that with you? Like a video with you and Danny, like Forever, I wanna be forever Upline.
I think it is time. I think for 5 years, every time that I'm waiting on the conference line for Danny, you get the other Young song. You know what
I
I'm
feel
talking
like
about?
your Forever Upline though. We've got to go there. You've got to do a video. I've got a couple requests now. I've got like a Saw spoof request for around Halloween time. I'm not sure is going to get past HR. And I've got the Forever Upline now. So I'm going to try to leverage any influence that I have to accomplish that. We'll see.
In case it's not become apparent, I'm not above embarrassing myself, and I will absolutely sing karaoke.
Okay,
Let's go.
let's go.
Managing partners, number 3, Jacob Pogue, number 2, Edward Pritchett, and Marshall Whalen, still clipping along north of $1 million a week. Let's go. See you, Delaney and Purdy. So awesome to see so many of these faces in the last couple weeks, man. The association right now, B-dubs, is off the chart. Getting to celebrate Brian Delaney's birthday, and with so many good friends and business partners was a special. Being out at their farm, just incredible property. Great job by he and his wife. And just to see the people that flew from all corners of the globe to come celebrate and be with the good buddy is I hope you see, Delaney, the impact that you've made on this organization and so many people's lives, buddy. We sure appreciate you. For the new writers, Jacob Pogue, 17, Edward Pritchett, 28, Marshall Whalen, 31.
That was a full turkey slide. That last one, full 100% turkey. Whole thing. Boom.
Good eye.
That's rare. That's like
a high
some
IQ of yours coming out again.
Yep, it's some algorithmic, low odd algorithm making that up.
Mhm. For the directs, number 3, Danny Young. Number 2, John Ziller. Number 1, Scott Mink. Ready to write, Scott Mink 15, Marshall 28, Jacob Hogue 35. And for the new writers, Griff Martin, Scott Mink with 6, Jamie Susie 7, Danny Young with 11. For the base shops, Ziller with 50, JPV with 61, and Jamie Susie with nearly 63. Congratulations. Ready to write, Ben 4, Jamie 5, Mark 7. Let's go, Mark. New writers, Ben, Bradley, Christopher. Well done with 2, JPV 3, Jamie Susie again there with 5. B-Dubs, we got some promotions.
And yes, and I would be remiss. Thank you to Kyle Kimbrell for pointing this out to us, to just remind everybody, promotions are like last Wednesday of the month, right? Was there an extra Wednesday this month? Because
this is kind of new, and we talked about it a couple of times, and Ryan Miller pointed out to me too this weekend that we cannot be over communicate, make sure that we pass along, guys. Some of the things we're working on behind the scenes is we hear you on snapshot turnarounds, and we're trying to provide as much time as we can, and we're looking to all the systems that we have to continually serve you all better. So just know going forward that promotions are the last Wednesday of the calendar month. And that gives the home office a little bit of a buffer to make sure we're getting through snapshots and that we're not offering up promotions to those that end up not making it, or we miss people that do make it, but we didn't complete their snapshot in time. So just heads up. It takes another week. We know that that's not favorable for anybody that's in the moment that is ready to be promoted. And we know that messes with the timing of all of you that do a great job of promoting your own leaderboards within your own agency. But API, and do know that this is going to help solve some of the inner timings that lets us all make sure we serve you better.
That's right.
Top producers, minimum $20,000 net place premium for 2 months in a row. Giovanna Caparossi. How'd I do,
Good job. Excellent.
Huh?
That was excellent, man. My
That's
grandma
good.
Campanosi's proud.
Let's go. Caitlin Cordito Reese, Violet Poulter, and Zachary Strasshofer. Congratulations on being top producers. For our team leaders, that means minimum of 10,000 net plays 2 months in a row with 3 sales agents, 2 direct for each qualifying month. Adam Espana, Christina Presner, George Cafton, Jonathan Willis, Kevin McFarland, Kimberly Einerwald, Lee McCarthy, Melissa Aguilera, Robert Gransdard, Robert Filippo, Tyler Joe Thompson, Vanessa LeBlanc, and Yadira Breland.
It's a lot of team leaders. Good job.
Fired up.
Yeah.
How about those key leaders, B-Dubs?
How about these key leaders? 20,000 net place for 2 months in a row with 4 sales reps, 3 directs for each qualifying month. Submitting target at 30K. We got Davian Clark, Emily Bartz, James Hickman, Kyle Gaines, Sahara Jordan, Scott Starling, and Venus Diaz. Welcome to the key leader world. AOs. Speaking of AOs, we're gonna have a great time next week. We got a full house now, Spivey. Full house. So really excited to see. I'm really excited to see everybody next week that's coming to Agency Owner Academy. But congratulations here to Heather Morrow, Christina Watts, Kashif Powell. Thinking that's not your picture, but we like your name, Kashif Powell. Congratulations. And Shauna Berrigan Campa, likely also not your picture, but congratulations to all 4 of you agency owners. Breaking out 4 AOs in a month. There was a time that'd be unheard of in the life of this organization. And now the systems that all the distribution crew, Resma, Spivey team are working on, and all the good things we got in the works, it's going to get even crazier, as you said, Spivey.
It's only getting better. We're about to be entering a world where we just basically have to pick who we want to travel the world with. Getting wild. Agency directors, congratulations. This means you have at least one direct agency owner. Let's go, Jerry Choate, Ashley Richard, Kelly Bush, and Alec Myers. Welcome to the agency director category. So excited for you guys. And I will take blame for them not getting the turkey leg, but I must take credit too, B-dubs, where apparently my appearance at the Lake House has slingshotted Ryan and Michelle's career all the way to senior partner. So well deserved. Minimum of 2 direct 130 managers and 2 direct agency directors are hired. So I want to say mad shout out, congratulations to my buddy Ryan and Michelle. And also just want to give a quick shout out too to a couple of people that are in that final kind of accelerate phase there, B-dubs. We got some folks that hit 120 with Christian Capistrano, Ike Manello, James Larson, Kelly Bush, Percy Bland Jr., and Grayson Shane Webb.
Ooh,
all hit 120.
love it.
And if you go with the theme, like I'm loving this, guys. I am here for all of it. Tim Penso sends me a 130 or die run shirt. And my good buddy over there, Gino Locklear, eat your heart out, B-dubs. Look at this swag I got.
That's fine.
Made their top contract to, or their contract promotion to 120. And just so much congratulations to all those people I just mentioned who are on their final ascent. Is that right? Ascent?
That's very well said. Very well said. Yeah, finish the advanced phase, finna hit that achieve phase, and being able to kind of build towards some bonuses that we're seeing here.
Yes, let's go. Man, look at this, guys. This is bonus money. This is bonus. You've got to get down all the way down to 10th place before the individuals didn't make north of $30,000 in the month for bonus. Absolutely incredible numbers and sincere gratitude to the system. But guys, absolute respect for everybody on this list because we know you earned every dollar of it. Congratulations to those that won the capital bonus as well. As you can see, we got a tie there at third with many awesome individuals. Chris Menifee, Ben before, and James Larson are at the top. And there on the producer side, we've got Joanne Castellano, we got Allison Losker, and Ariz Al. Well done, guys. Continue to reuse this money to invest back into your business. This is what a company does financially and via the world of impact. $828,000 in equity, $62,000 in capital, $38,000 in the producer. Year to date, almost $4 million.
Wow.
On top of the money that I personally know the investors, the founders have put of their own personal dollars back into this company to help us build out and grow so that each of you can build a larger agency. They also continue to challenge themselves to put out bonus programs. The year to date has taken $4 million out of the pocket of the company and put it back into those that are most deserving. So I hope everybody understands and respects and can appreciate that. We talked about gratitude earlier, guys. I get to see it from a weird angle here in Swan of Nowhere. And it's something special to see the effort that goes into earning these bonuses and to see the heart of an organization that looks to continue to give more back. Truly special. Champions Cup. We've been hearing about this for a while. We kept working with the numbers, guys. We wanted to make sure that we got everything right. We've already done corporate winners for the Champions Cup. That is coming up soon, November 29th through December 3rd. We're going on a little trip. We're going to Mexico, B-dubs.
Let's
The
go.
individuals you see on this screen are the Champions Divisions winners. These are the individuals that won for their own individual 130 hierarchy prize. So congratulations to Alex, Alexander, Andrea, Andy, Blair, Brandon, Charity, Chris, Craig, Daryl, John, Joel, Jason, Holly, Hannah, Gino, Gil, Eleanor, Deborah, Dave, Leroy, You think it's Leroy or
Sure.
Leroy?
I think it's Leroy.
Because I only know Leroy from where I'm from.
Just a guess.
It's dope either way. Lynn, Norman, Omar, Ryan, Scott, Donna, Scott Peterson, Stefan Brenez, and Violet Poulter. Congratulations. Can't wait to see you all in Mexico. I will be there with a cocktail in hand. Looking forward to celebrating with somebody poolside.
Mm-hmm.
Insights into action, value-based leads. Everybody take notes, please. Listen up, listen intently, guys. Leads were priced to provide about a 3 to 4 time multiple for typical agents, but consistency is the key. If you go to the Vegas slot machine and you just drop $1 in and you pull the lever 4 times, chances are you're not walking away with $1,000. Consistency is key. You've got to continue to show up and remember that everything we do in this business can be boiled down at some point to basic math. And you've got to put in the massive action, constant correction. Consistency is key. Analog A leads are the most profitable lead types with a close ratio of over 34%. Digital A leads deliver a 3 to 4 times multiple and are delivered directly to your switchboard. B leads have a much higher return at a lower cost per lead. Everything is all about your return on investment around here. You can hear from other organizations outside of the Quality universe all about how much money they're supposedly doing in premium. The key number you always need to focus on when you're recruiting and when you're thinking about your business is how much money are you actually making? That is your return on investment, guys. And those B leads are so profitable because they're affordable, they're plentiful, and you can get some activity going. So on the action, feed your machine. Casey's talked about this. Palmer's talked about this. Newer agents should lean into B leads to help keep weekly lead costs down and provide consistent activity. And established agents should diversify their lead mix with analog and digital A leads. And as always, B leads. You can get more information on HQ, but we want to make sure that we emphasize this point. The slides, the statistics that you're seeing on the screen, the words that just came out of my mouth. There is an intense amount of data and time period that's been analyzed to tell you these facts. The Q2 value-based lead update analyzed data using over 3,000 agents, looking at over 1 million leads over a 6-month period. We got a lot of smart people out there that like to do the math. We continue to update you and tell you the information as we have it. And we continue to analyze our own data to make sure that you guys know best practices. So I hope everybody understands that the data that you're reading, that you can screenshot right now, is founded on very, very methodical practices to not take a small sample set. This is the company as a whole. How was that, B-dubs?
Outstanding. And yeah, you can see HQ News for more insights and kind of to follow up there. So work with your mentors if you got questions, work with your AO and keep plugging away. So I love that we've got is this still, yeah, this is in order of inventory potential. Speaking of those standing A lead orders, also known as the SALO. I won't go off on my tangent today about the SALO. But you see the states there.
That's it. If you need more leads, you need more inventory. These are the states right now where leads department is indicating they can generate more responses. Take a screenshot, note these states. Please remember with any standing lead order, especially with digital leads, we always recommend having multiple states. 4 or 5 is just the minimum. Keep going. The cost of a non-residence license, guys, can be as low as $10-15. Engage, you've heard about it, Quality National Conference. Make sure you head over to Engage Now 2023. Make sure you're booking your discounted hotel within our room block. You all know the importance of booking these events multiple years in advance. Let's fill up those rooms. Owner's pack tickets. Here we go. 10 tickets for $18.99 through today. That's right. You heard it there. As of tomorrow, B-dubs, the same exact cost for 10 tickets is going to go up by about $300.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I went to the University of Alabama where they did not make me specialize in mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a pretty good deal to go ahead and hit that done button today. Put yourself into a corner that you have to go fight out of and get 10 folks to conference. Buy that ticket today. Save yourself $300. $300. That could take care of all of your food basically while you're out in Denver. Save that money. Hit the done button today. Go get that owner's pack before the price increases tomorrow to $21.99. Can't wait for this, the Women Empowerment event. You can be joining with Meredith Ellison and Whit Zay and one of our keynote speakers, Vanessa Lauder, to discuss how to lean in without burning out. Tickets are just $35. There's very limited seating, and this will be the day before our national conference starts. And as always, this isn't just for the girls, man. This is for everybody out there. I can't wait to be there. I know you will as well, B-dubs. It is an open invite, and to show that show our support in making sure that women in empowerment is something that is a high focus for this organization. Reminder, new agents will have the ability to contract with 9 carriers. Thank you, Pam.
Yay.
Mainly for just showing your beautiful face and letting me smile for a minute.
For sure.
Well, you can read these off if you want to.
Nope, I'd rather you do it.
Okay. So just a couple of quick reminders, because since we've changed the carrier selection that we're giving to new agents, plus we've moved to SureLC, so some different things going on. New agents now are getting 9 carriers right out of the gate. And so with our contract with SureLC, it's going to be more cost effective for the company if we send in contracts for an agent less frequently. So we would like, if they have E&O coverage, that they go ahead and complete all 9 contracts right out of the gate. So agency owners follow up and make sure that they're getting them all done. Don't have them wait and do some later, unless it's because they don't have E&O coverage yet. If they don't have E&O, then once they get E&O, have them go in and get the rest of the carrier contracts that they can get with E&O. And just to review, there are those 9 carriers are Mutual Omaha, Foresters, Marico, SBLI, LGA, AIG, F&G, and UHL. And then AMAM is a just-in-time carrier, so we'll send their contracts once the agent has submitted business. And experienced or advanced market agents also get 9 carriers of their choosing. And then the next trigger for an agent to be able to get additional carriers will be 15 apps and 25 apps. And then the next slide, 5E, is for agency owners. For now, as you went through the training, the contracting department doesn't know that they need to forward your contracts to a carrier unless you tell us that the agent's completed it and they're ready to go. And you do that by submitting a support ticket. Here's the little small issue that we're running into. Your agent may complete 3 of the carrier contracts, and then you open a ticket to let us know to go ahead and send them. And then a few days later, the agent completes 2 or 3 more. Do not assume that we know that they've completed 2 or 3 more. We won't know that. You're going to have to send a support ticket every time they complete more carrier contracts. It just takes a second to do that, but please know that we're not seeing that. Hopefully someday we'll have that little portion fixed and we won't even have to have you guys notify us. But for now, that's the way it's got to work. And then lastly, we are still working on getting agents who were contracted during the month of July in 2022 through May 22nd of 2023 into SureLC. So if you fall into that category, just be on the lookout for an email from SureLC with a link so that you can set up your profile. This is necessary if you're going to get to want to get more contracts later on for different carriers, or if you have agents under you that may want additional carriers. And that's it for me.
Fired up for that.
You rock, Pam.
Pam is crushing it, contracting, crushing it. The transition, the feedback that we're getting and hearing, guys, is just off the charts. The access to more carriers earlier, faster. Everything about what I feel in that department is just really good right now, Pam. And that's a lot of gratitude to you and your team, and a lot of late nights and hard work. So
Yep. You are living up to your employee number one expectations this week. And always. That's good stuff. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
You bet.
we got upcoming events. Take a screenshot. We're getting over on our time. You know, these calls, they're extremely important. If I was you, I would be paying extraordinary attention to tomorrow's deep dive with the sales experts, not only because I will be back and on the call and provide very little insight compared to what Jason Didson and Sean Lyons will be providing. Switchboard specific training, guys, new lead type training. We're going to break down the do's and the don'ts. We're going to get into the specific nuggets. Make sure you're on tomorrow's Thursday call with the sales experts and log in and get involved with FIF resets. It's silly. It's here to stay. It's going to be a part of where the company, the organization's going. And I can tell you the waiting line for the directs right now that are requesting Jeff Sigworth to come on and make sure their organizations are getting on the train is growing long. And make sure you get on that list and let's get after it.
Well, Spivey, man, thanks to you. I mean, I got to talk to Mr. Lyons a couple weeks ago when I was in town, and I just know you and Ditson and Sean Lyons, like the countless hours and energy and heart and passion that you all put in. There's a shift. I mean, you know, you're expanding your team. There's a shift happening in sales training and sales. Just the depth and the understanding that you've had because you put in the hard yards and the hours. So, man, can't imagine first call, 1,100 people. It's not always about the numbers, but I'll tell you, like, it shows that, you know, all hard work brings a profit, right? If we just talk about it, doesn't usually leads to scarcity. So appreciate you, man. And all that you guys are doing. Yeah, you bet. You bet.
I think, guys, we all learned a lot. Like the rollout of Switchboard was groundbreaking technology, and there was so much goodness to be had. And as with anything that you roll out, you learn things you could have done better. And one of those is specific sales training to match the software and the power of the medium. And there's been so many, you know, instrumental people behind that, you know, including Frank Brenez, including Jay Nesbitt, including Mark Palmer, and all the many agents that have been involved. So just a couple quick notes too. I'm getting some text and updates. We'll have to go back and verify, but seems like Mr. Dan Barnes could have been promoted and broken out to agency director.
The Barnstormer.
Barnstormer.
That could be my first nickname that I ever made up.
And Rex Knight Jr. as a Champions Cup winner. So our apologies for missing those earlier, guys. We'll get with the team and make sure that we can verify those additions and then properly edify. So B-Dubs, we went 20 minutes over. That's our apologies, guys. We're going to continue to try to get better on our time management and start and end at 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. But it's a big week, and we were fired up, and I couldn't wait to spend a little bit of extra time with you all here today. So B-Dubs to you and your team, so much gratitude.
Thanks, man.
Ever grateful for your leadership and friendship, buddy. And if everybody would go out there and start participating in this lead to show our gratitude on the next level, it mean a lot to me personally, and I know you'd feel it in your business and in your own personal lives. So until we see you next week, stay tuned, stay up, stay after it. Let's go.
Let's go. Appreciate you.